We talked about the blended solution that you can offer your learners and how it's a strong solution to consider. Well, let's take a sidestep for a moment and discuss a recent concept that's very popular, fairly effective, and looking to change how K through 12 and college classes are delivered. This idea is the flipped classroom. So what exactly is a flipped classroom? Conceptually, it's pretty simple. Many classrooms are structured so there's a lecture in the class, and then the students go home, do homework, and repeat this process over and over again. So what's the problem with this model? We've been doing it this way for decades or more. Well, we're learning now that there's actually a better way. What would happen if you used the time in the classroom for activities, learning lab time, discussions around the content, and workshop-like experiences? Now that video has become a valid way to deliver content, it allows the lecture to become the homework for the next day. The student watches the lecture portion of the class at home the night prior to class. Then, in class, they're involved with experiences that revolve around the content. There may be team activities, research, discussion groups, and the ability to ask the teacher questions. Now the classroom is much more lively and potentially a chaotic environment, but a deeper level of learning is absolutely taking place. This gentleman is Sal Khan. He's the founder of a company called Khan Academy. This company has paved the way for this new innovative way of restructuring the classroom experience. What's interesting is that this revelation came to him by accident. He was using YouTube to tutor his niece and nephew. Rather than me tell his story, I'll let you learn it from him. Take some time to watch his TED Talk about his story and his approach to the flipped classroom model. It's actually really fascinating. After you've done that, take some time to explore his site, Khan Academy. I'll also point you to some YouTube videos that'll show you the backside of his site, so you can see some of the various data visualization tools that it offers to teachers so they can better manage their students and how they're learning. I was so impressed with this model and how it was getting used that I presented a plan to my manager at our company. This plan was to reduce on-site training time by about a day. This would allow us to work with more clients over time. Our instructors spent a lot of time in the first day of class walking people through basic concepts of our software. They also dealt with terminology and sharing thought processes and workflows so our clients could better understand how our software works. What they actually needed during training time with our instructors was time for questions and a more structured practice time with the facilitator. To address this challenge, what do you think we did? We made a series of e-learning topics and job aids that addressed all of the terminology and entry-level content that was taking up class time. We also took some of the more advanced content out of the courses and made them standalone topics that became either e-learning content or webinars the learners could attend when they were ready to take their skills to the next level. This eliminated some time from the first day and some time from the last day. So overall, it achieved the goal that we were actually shooting for. Now, before you leave this portion of the discussion thinking this is the perfect solution and you should implement it immediately with every set of content you create, be aware that there's some challenges with this format. Can you think of what some of them might be? There's a really big challenge that's come up repeatedly. So let's just address it now. What happens if people don't do what they're supposed to do? Will they actually review the material before the session? This is a mixed bag when it comes to results. People are busy with their regular job. This isn't school, it's corporate America. What happens if they don't have the time to go through the material during their time at the office? Do they do that part at home? What if they can't make that happen? In the situation with my learners that I shared, the portion where we remove the advanced content really doesn't get impacted by this issue. The bigger challenge is the intro content. We're starting our classes at about day 2 of the content. If they didn't do the pre-work, they would certainly be behind the others. Our customers are paying us for our time with them, so there's limited capability for us to hold them accountable for not doing this work. That really lands on their managers or team leads for not making the time available to them. So what do? You have to plan for this reality. You have to have job aids available. You have to have checks in place that push them ahead of time to do this work. We have a learning liaison that works with the project managers on stuff like this. They spend time scheduling classes, and they make sure our clients have their learners doing this work. But you may not have that luxury. You just have to know that it happens, and you need a plan to offset this when it does, so it doesn't derail your training environments.